All right, our tier list for the month of May is going to be tuner monsters in Edison format. Kind of crazy that I haven't done this one yet, actually, given how many different topics we've covered on the channel. But this one's cool because someone else already created it for me. It was just like chilling in the, I don't know, did Fraser do one of these or something? It was just chilling in the tier maker, and I stumbled upon it. I'm like, dang, that's a good video idea. So let's do that one. There's actually a lot of tuners now that I look at it. A lot of these guys down here, huh? There's a lot more tuners than you would really think are in Edison format because most of them are bad and you've never heard of them. But yeah, anyway, we're going to go ahead and go through and try to rate all of these. Yeah, one by one here. There's quite a lot. We're going to have to go kind of quick here, or this we're just going to be here all day looking at tuner monsters. So, all right, I guess we take it from the top with X-Saber Airbellum. Now, this card is played in like Cat and X-Sabers, and that's it. It's usually a sort of brick you don't really want to draw. It's not like awful in certain situations because the hand rip effect can be good. But yeah, it's definitely not a good tuner. What do we want to call it? We can call it like B. I think it's a solid B. Like the hand rip effect is good. You can get it off Cat, it's searchable. It's like a, level 3 is decent level to be for a tuner. I don't know if we can think about the levels too much, but I mean, for what it is, I think it's like a middle tier kind of tuner monster. It's played in like an okay-ish deck, but it's nothing crazy. So yeah, I think it's probably appropriate. It's not like these tiers down here are probably gonna be full of just like dog water tuners. So maybe we'll switch it around as we go. As always, that's a possibility, but I think B is about appropriate. Alien Ammonite. I'm not sure how we should like weigh things because as like in a general sense, Ammonite's very good because it's just like a one card to make your deck's boss monster tuner, but you can only really play it in one deck, and the one deck you can play it in is quite bad. Whereas Airbellum, you can sort of play it in multiple decks. Like a Synchro Cat and X-Sabers are two different things, sort of, and both of those decks are better than Aliens. How do I want to evaluate? It's like not C. It's just like its effect is way too good to be C tier. So maybe we just kind of put it. Do I put it above Airbellum? Man, what Ammonite does is just so good. It's just like restricted to this really kind of crappy archetype where it's like you got to play all these garnets with it too. So it's probably around Airbellum's level actually. I don't know. I don't know where I want to put it. Yeah. I guess I'll put it just here. I'll just put it here for now. Like, if Ammonite... I mean, obviously, if it was, like, in a good deck, it would be S tier easily, but it's just sort of not. So, I don't know. I guess we'll put it in B for now. Arcanite Apprentice, or Arcane Apprentice. What's this card called? Yeah, it searches Assault Mode activate when you synchro with it. But he's kind of just like a level 2 guy, and you have to normal summon that doesn't like get any value whatsoever in terms of making the synchro play happen. You just need to have like you can put it in assault mode activate decks, which are already like a super very whack out there thing, and it's like okay in there. It's not even that good. I mean, it searches the assault mode activate. So I guess if you have some kind of play with Destiny Hero Malicious, summon this guy, then it just searches the assault mode activate for you. But it's like only playable in one deck, and the one deck is worse than Aliens, and it's like way worse than Ammonite too, objectively. So, I think we found ourselves a C tier. Like it does something. I'm not gonna say the card is completely worthless, but I mean we're talking about definitively worse than Ammonite, right? Because like Ammonite, they're both only playable in one deck, and the one deck is bad, but Ammonite just like does a lot more for the one deck than. Like, you could put an assault mode deck without even playing this card, whereas an alien deck without Ammonite is just, like, inconceivable. What are you talking about? So, yeah, I think C is being perfectly fair there. Blizzard, easy S. I mean, yeah, it's like an Ammonite, but for a tier 1 archetype. So, I mean, it's just like a one-card, level 6 synchro. Level 6 is, like, one of the best levels. It also makes level 5, which is solid. Yeah, I mean, you could also just bring back, like, a Gale. You can bring back whatever. It's just, like, a +1. Card is so good. Oh, my God. It's like, a huge part of the reason Blackwings are so crazy. So, yeah, I think S tier is pretty S tier's fine. S tier, everyone agrees. Blizzard S tier. No one could possibly dispute this, actually. So yeah. Moving on to Chaos End Master. This card is gimmicky. It's got like a okay effect. It's like a Flambeau Fire Dog, sort of. But it summons like a level 5 from your deck that is 1600 or less attack. I've been messing around with this card, trying to make it work. And like, yeah, the effect is solid. You can use it with like Honest and Book of Moon to like cheese out a special summon a monster from your deck, make a level 8 synchro. Or you can, you don't have to make a level 8 synchro, it's just like a +1 as well. I think down here though, like it's just not really usable to the extent that maybe these two are. It's like hard to say. The card's quite unproven, so I think she's the best I can really give it. Yeah, special summoning a monster from your deck is really good. It's like also a light warrior. You can get off Shining Angel or Rhoda, so it has some things going for it, but it's just not really. It's not really played in anything. Doesn't do a whole lot as of now. So I've been trying to mess around with it. Maybe I'll find something crazy, but for now I think C tier. Iron Chain Coil. D, unfortunately. Iron Chain is just not. I've tried. It's not happening. And, like, the card doesn't do anything by itself either. Like, the Repairman is the one that makes the play happen. This is just like it's just a brick. It's just a garnet. So, yeah, Iron Chain Coil is just garbage. I don't know what to tell you. You could pitch it to summon Fortress, I guess. It's a machine. So, that's something. But, no, card sucks. Card sucks. Speaking of cards that suck, I don't even remember what this guy does, but it's something of Lambstar, and he's awful. Copy Plant, just also terrible. I'm sorry. You can summon it off Lone Fire, but like Nettles is just better. Oh, here, let's find Nettles. Where's Nettles? Here, we'll put Nettles up here. You can play it in like the Gigavice decks, and it's sort of... Well, is it better than Copy Plant? I think Nettles is played more because you can make Blackbird Drago with it, and that's usually better. Like, just level 8 synchro plays are usually better than whatever Power Tool dumb stuff you're trying to do. So I think Nettles can be like a tier above Copy Plant just because it's like this hyper searchable level 2 plant tuner thing. So yeah. Counselor Lily sucks. I don't remember what it does. This card has Ice Barrier in its name, D tier. Dark Tinker, maybe here. You can play it in like the Doom Shaman deck or like maybe some kind of tomato thing. The issue, this card would be crazy, right? If it just let you like draw one or something. Or maybe like Magical Mallet a card in your hand, but it just resets the top card. Like, that's just not enough, you know? It's a level 2, which is a good level to be, and you can like search it and revive it and stuff and abuse it in that way, I guess, but it's just not, no. A Dark Resonator is a bit better, I think. Dark Resonator is probably, it's probably still C tier though. Like, it's basically indestructible by battle once per turn, I guess, it could be worse. You know, you can set it and it won't just get run over, so that's something. Also, it's a Dark Fiend, so you can, same kind of thing as Dark Tinker. I do think it is better than Dark Tinker despite being a level 3. Yeah, it's seen sub play in like some Dark Calling, Dark Gaia decks and stuff. I think Guari had a build that used it or something. So it's alright. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like these ones down here where it's sort of has some potential, something going for it, but just not quite doing anything that impressive. Debris Dragon is... What do I call Debris Dragon? Maybe A tier? I think not quite S. None of the decks that play Debris Dragon could really be considered top tier. But there's a lot of decks that play Debris Dragon that are kind of pushing that. And the card is quite good. Just like you can bring back a Dandelion or Card Trooper or whatever. There's a lot of decent targets. There's a lot of good Dragon synchros you can make. Stardust. You can make Red Dragon beat over things. Of course, Black Rose being one of the best synchros in the entire format. And Debris is just a one-card synchro, and it's more generic than Ammonite. But it's probably not as powerful as Blizzard, given that Blizzard is in a top-tier deck. And, and Blizzard just completely generic, too, has no restrictions. So I think A is about appropriate for Debris Dragon. It is a good, like, just being a one-card synchro that's relatively generic, I think is really enough to put it high. But not S tier. But speaking of cards that do belong in S tier, we got Deep Sea Diva. This one might be better than Blizzard. It's just like a tour guide, like in Edison format. We do not have cards that's just straight special summon from the deck when they're summoned. That's just like unheard of in Edison format. But Diva does. Diva does. Just like normal summon, special summon a guy from. It's like a friggin' modern card or something. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy what Deep Sea Diva does for you. And it's played in like multiple top tier strategies. It's played in zombies, Diva Hero, Diva Hero Beat. You know, it's even like Diva Frogs. I don't know. There's a whole rabbit hole of decks that are relatively strong that can play Deep Sea Diva. The card is just crazy. The card is really powerful. So yeah, it just absolutely. I think above Blizzard even. Blizzard's really only played in one deck. It is powerful. It is a one card synchro, but Diva's a one card synchro from your deck. It doesn't even require setup. Like, I guess you have to play the brick, so maybe that evens out. But it's like, yeah, the card is crazy. Card is crazy. Drill Synchron just sucks. Yeah, D tier. Eccentric Boy. He's like a solid C, like one of these whack janky ones, you know. Makes sense. You can do some weird stuff with it. Whereas these things down, you can't really do anything with these things down here. So I think C's probably my favorite tier, actually. I like these tuners in C tier. Hold on, where do I think Eccentric Boy stacks up in C? Yo, it might be the best one in C. That might be cap. I don't know if we should order them within tiers like this, but I don't know. Eccentric Boy, it's like kind of funny. You can do some funny stuff. The Eel, this is just a Garnet for Coelacanth. Does that make it good enough to be in C? I don't know. It's like played in one bad deck, and it's a Garnet in the one bad deck too. It's not like Ammonite where it's good. It's just like it's just a Garnet in the bad. You know what? You know what? If I can put Dark Tinker in C, I think we kind of have to. Well, maybe Dark Tinker and Eel should just both be down here. That seems a little bit more appropriate. I think Nettles is the only like Garnet we could maybe possibly. Maybe we just can't put Garnets in C. I don't know. Is this the right way to be thinking about it? Hold up. I'm gonna need it. Maybe Nettles goes down here too. I feel like D tier is just going to be really huge, but I guess that's how it is with a lot of things when we're just looking at every card ever. Yeah, the thing is you get Nettles off Lone Fire, which is kind of just way better than getting something off Coelacanth. I don't know. This is like a tough one for me. I'm going to leave it how it is, but I don't even know what this card does. I don't even know what this card is called. Sorry. Fire Ant Ascator. This is a Garnet in the Inca deck. It's like bad. The Supe is better. This thing's effect is just worthless. So yeah, it goes in D. I don't know. Where in D doesn't really matter. Let's just put it like there. It's fine. Fishborg is it's like in the fish deck like the eel, but it's actually good. But it's not that crazy. It is played in the frog thing, the frog OTK infinite loop pile nonsense that no one really plays. But it is played in that, and it's played in the fish deck. I'll give it C. We can give it C. I mean, it is like very broken on paper, and it sees play in multiple different decks, which are not necessarily good decks, but there's multiple of them. I mean, what it does is kind of strong enough. I'll put it in C. Flambeau Guard, this is just like a random one-off you sometimes play in Dragon Turbo. It gets D tier. Here, I'll put it top of D tier since it's the best Garnet on here. Flambeau Magician. It is a level 4 tuner, which is pretty neat. And it gets under Bottomless, and you get it off Fire Dog, and you can summon it back with Rekindling. But it is really only played in Flambeau decks, which aren't very good. I'll put it in D. I'm feeling friendly to the Flambeaus. Maybe this is just my warm, fuzzy feeling toward the Flambeau deck, but I think, I don't know. Just like being a level 4 tuner is actually quite good. You can just like summon it with another level 4 and make it 8. That's pretty solid. I don't know. It's like probably better than this stuff down here. I mean, just look at Flambeau Magician and think about it for a second, and then look at all this nonsense and think, Yeah, I think Flammable Magician's probably better. Frequency Magician, get the hell out of here. What even are you? Full Helm Knight just negates an attack and also has another effect. Did like revive stuff. So I think that's enough to make it B, even though it's only played in kind of whack stuff. Gale is just like A tier. Next to Debris Dragon. I think about the same as Debris Dragon. It's played in Blackwings, it's played in Vayu, it's like played as a random one-off and some other stuff, and it's like okay. It outs things. Yeah, it's not a one-card synchro like these other guys up here are, but it is like a really solid generic card. So I think we can give Gale an A tier. I think we can give it an A tier. Plus it drops itself too. That's pretty neat. Hainwada. Unfortunately, you get D even though you're funny. Hyper Synchron. All right, Ryan-Ide's about to be mad, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's the truth. What the hell does Hyper Synchron even do? I guess it's a level 4 tuner and it's a machine. You know what? Ryan-Ide, I'm going to give you this one, all right? It can go up here. It can go up here. How about that? I'm not doing any better than that, though. That's all you get. Psychic Jumper. This card's really crap because the Psychic pool is quite inbred in Edison format. Its effect is, like, awesome, honestly, but it's just, like, you need to have the Extreme Victory Psychic support out before this card's really playable. So, unfortunately, it is going to receive... Yeah, it's going to go in D tier. I'm sorry. Sorry, Psychic Jumper fans. Junk Synchron is an S. Yeah. It's just like a one-card synchro, but it's completely generic, unlike Debris. It's also a Dark Warrior. Is there anything you would rather be in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Over a Dark Warrior? I can't think of one, but that, yeah. I put it above Blizzard, even. Maybe. I don't know. Blackwings are, like, a really good deck. But Junk Synchron, man, that card is just different. That card is a top-tier tuner if ever there was one. Yeah, S tier for sure. Jute Fighter. This is just a target for, what's the call? Reinforced Truth. But I don't think people even really play this in Reinforced Truth decks anymore. So it gets D tier. It gets D tier. Krebons. B. It's alright. It's just kind of eh. Just kind of eh. Whatever this guy is garbage, yeah. Some, like, dragon tuner doesn't really do anything. Majestic Dragon. Unfortunately, it sucks so bad. I will, hold on, let's try to keep some sense of what the hell's going on. Actually, maybe we should just have everything kind of thrown in D tier. Whatever. Majestic Dragon, doesn't this have, like, an effect that's restrictive as well? I forget what its effect is. Can you, like, only use this to make the big guys? Is that what it does? I don't remember, but let's just call it bad. It's definitely, it doesn't really do anything for sure, so, and it's just a level 1. Level 1's a pretty crappy level for a tuner in Edison, too, because we don't have formula. So I think we'll say definitively it's D somewhere. Mindmaster, we can give it C, just because there's like a crazy OTK you can do, which is more than literally nothing, I guess. But yeah, the OTK is super inconsistent and garbage, and no one really plays the Mindmaster deck. If people play Psychics, they usually play Overdrive Teleporter, which is kind of just like a better approach. So yeah, unfortunately, you gotta load your deck up with crappy Garnets too, and there's only one of it. So I guess, yeah, it's also only at 1. Man, if it was at 3, it would probably be too crazy, though. It would just be too consistent with, like, 1-for-1 E-Telly as well. So, yeah. Mistral, this is just, like, a bad Blackwing tuner you sometimes play instead of the second Vayu if you're feeling like a hipster. Can I give it C just based off that? It has an effect that's like a winged Karibo, sort of. It's level 2, dark. That's like, yeah, I don't know though. Like, Blackwings doesn't generally need to play this card. It's just like an option, so D. Knights and Sorcerer. This card's honestly not that garbage. I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna put it like up in C here. You know, it is just like you play like some tomato box, and it's just like a super DD Crow, which, yeah, I guess you don't really want to draw it. You can play it in like the weird Spellcaster Exemplar stuff too. It has some applications. They're definitely whack, but it does something. So I think C tier. C is the does something tier. So yeah. Nitro Synchron, garbage. Just like, no. We play Quick Draw, fellas. Herald of Orange Light. So this card's actually insane. Hold up. Do I gotta put this up in S maybe? It is. They're like, you played in any fairy deck, obviously. It's just like the craziest hand trap in the format by far. By far. And it's also a tuner. It's also a level 2 tuner. So you can use it to make Brio Christia. Man, the hand trap effect is just so ahead of its time on this card, though. Oh my god, it's just like a Divine Wrath hand trap that's absolutely wild. Yeah, I think easy S tier on Orange Light, actually. That card is crazy. Card is crazy in Christia Sworn. It's crazy in fairies. Just like any kind of fairy deck, basically. So, Plague Spreader, S tier. I put it above Blizzard, probably, too. Yeah, any kind of like mill strategy or anything playing any kind of Armagrepher or dark stuff or zombies, of course. And it's just like, it's the only tuner that just brings itself from the grave, except I guess like Fishborg, but Fishborg is a level 1, not generic. It has this weird restriction to Plague. You just bring it back. Like, you just bring it back. It's a level 2 tuner. You can make great levels with it. It's a dark monster. It's searchable. There's just so many good things about Plague Spreader. Oh my god. Plague Spreader is one of the best tuners in the format, for sure. Psychic Commander, I guess it can be like a 19 beater, which makes it better than like most of C tier. Alright, Quick Draw can be B tier. Not high in B tier, though. It's kind of mid as a tuner. Like, Drill Warrior is a good card. Quick Draw is not a good card. Not like the worst. You know, I'm still putting it in B tier. Because cheesing out Drill Warrior is still crazy, so, yeah. Morphtronic Remoten. This card, unironically, has, like, a pretty good effect, but you gotta play it in Morphtronic, so it's gonna have to take some heat. Where do we put it? Do I put it higher than Psychic Commander? That's gotta be capped. No way. I really do feel like it's, like... This card does just give you a plus. It's like a pseudo-Stratos in Morphtronics, although you do have to have your graveyard set up. So I guess that's something. And it's a lot... It's small, too. So you need to have like some kind of synchro play to follow that up. But I mean, just getting to add a Morphtronic is pretty good. Road Synchron, it's like Quick Draw exists once again, and then it's just a bad level 4 tuner because it's not a level 4 tuner. It's basically a level 2 tuner. I forget what its other effect is. Does it have another effect? I don't know. The card sucks. Yeah, we'll just put it down in... We'll put it down in It Sucks tier. Rose Warrior of Revenge. People used to play this. Oh, I remember. In 2010, people just, like, played this card. It's just worse Magician, though, because it doesn't get under Bottomless. And it obviously doesn't have the other sort of stuff going for it. But before Magician came out, I guess it was the best level 4 tuner, maybe. But Magician is out in Edison, so I think we have to call it trash tier. Let's just put it, like... here, maybe. I don't know. Salvo... It goes in the does something tier, but it's like the best of the does something tier because it is just a 1-card synchro. But it does require you to play bad cards in your deck, but then again, so does Ammonite. So, you know, I think we give it top of C, honestly. Just being a 1-card synchro is kind of nuts. You just make like Black Rose and follow it up with whatever. Salvo's obviously not great, but most of the C stuff is pretty whack. Remoten, it's kind of worse than Scopin. Or it's worse than... No, this is Scopin, and that one's Remoten. My bad. It's like faster than Remoten, but it doesn't give you a plus. Maybe I just put it next to Remoten. I don't know. Stygian? This thing's like a battle recruiter. What is it? Stygian Security? I think it's Stygian Security. It's like a funny battle recruiter for level 1 fiends. There's a few, like, okay-ish targets, but there's not a lot of decks that can really play it. It can just float into itself over and over, and then you float into, like, Grave Squirmer or something, which just pops a card. I don't know. You can play it in some weird Puppet Master stuff. I'll call it C. I guess. It has like uses, which is more than I can really say for D, obviously. Mist Valley Shaman, get the hell out of here. This guy is actually a pretty solid level 4 tuner as the level 4 tuners go. Between Rose Warrior, Magician, and this guy might actually be the best. Because he can like bounce things. He does like get hit by Bottomless though. We'll just put him next to Magician. I don't know, just whatever. Sprocket, this card sucks. It just like pops a face-up spell trap when you sync. What is even the point of this card actually? Some kind of pixie thing that I don't remember the name of. Supe. This card has a float effect when it's destroyed by a card effect, and it's also searchable by Oracle of the Sun, which is like one of the Inca cards. It is better than the other Inca card because it has an effect that actually can do something. And if you build the deck around it too, like you can play like Limit Reverse or whatever and pop it to get a free special summon from deck, which is pretty, like, special summoning from the deck as float effects go is pretty good. And it's searchable. I think we can say that it can go in C. I think it is, yeah, I would consider putting it in A deck, which is more than he could say for most things in D, except maybe Flambeau Guard or maybe Mistral. Yeah, I'll put Supe down in C. I think it's like fine enough to go in C. C's not a very high standard to be held to. I don't remember what this card is. I'm sorry. Shiba Warrior Tarot. This card is indestructible by battle, which is like enough to. It's level 2. It's a rat target. I think it goes pretty high in C, honestly. Yeah. Tore Apart. Is this another Reinforced Truth target? Is it better or worse than Jute Fighter? I'll just put it next to Jute Fighter. Trap Eater. This card is trash. It's like Monster Mashes out to Royal Oppression or something. That's the thing that it does, which is it's like a bad side card in one of the worst decks in the entire format. Okay. Toon Warrior. This card is maybe played in like the Knight of the Red Lotus deck, maybe, but I feel like the Frog version is better with the Aqua Spirit, so yeah, garbage. Turbo Rockets. So this guy, you play it in like the Frog deck usually, and you make the Synchro that's like a bad Ring of Destruction. I can put it up here. Whatever. There's a deck that plays it that's not the worst. Turbo Synchron. There's no deck that plays this that's not the worst. So down here you go. Twilight Rose Knight. It's kind of like a better Morphtronic Scopin. Put it up with Salvo, maybe even above Salvo. You use it to cheese out like Iron Chain, or what am I? Power Tool Dragon. And then you get your search in that deck, although that deck's not very good. Neither is Salvo, though. Yeah, whatever, we'll just leave it there. Vayu. This guy can have... I'm giving it an A. It's only really it's only actually a tuner if you summon it off Shura. Otherwise, it's just like a graveyard resource, which it is very good at. But I think we got to say that Blizzard is better by the standards of, yeah. I mean, Blizzard's just like a one-card synchro. Vayu's more of like just a thing you want to search for or mill or send a thing. You don't really want to draw it, but it is really good what it does. But at the same time, you don't really want to draw it. So I think we kind of got to put it in A. It is a bricky card. But it obviously, Vayu is really good. It's one of the best tuners in the entire format anyway. So, what is this thing? Oh, this is Reptilian Viper. It's actually crazy. I know what all these cards are. Wow. All right, Reptilian Viper. It's searchable. And it can, like, take control of a monster if it's at 0 attack. So you pretty much had to Naga it already. Or if there was, like, for some reason a 0 attack monster just chilling on their field. I don't even really play it in Reptilian. You could, but it wouldn't be that good. Being a searchable level 2 dark tuner that's a reptile that goes with the offerings and the Nanta and stuff, it's like maybe it's alright. Maybe I can put it next to Supe up here. That's like the best I can give it, though. That's my cope. Aqua Spirit, so it's played in the Knight and the Red Lotus Frog deck. It's like a... You just like revive it with Knight of the Red Lotus and do synchro plays. What do we want to call it? It's just a vanilla, man. It's a vanilla, but it goes with Swap Frog. And the fact that it goes with Swap Frog and Knight of the Red Lotus actually... It's pretty decent, but it's only played in this one deck, and this one deck's pretty bad. But same deal for, like, Supe and and Reptilian Viper, and maybe even arguably Nettles. I guess we can leave it here, but it might just be D. Whitestone of Legends. This card is pretty good. It's just, like, gives a lot of pluses to Dragon Turbo. And they also do synchro plays with it. It gives them access to, like, Brionic with Instant Fusion. I'll put it top of B. It's, like, not on... It doesn't really do as much as these guys up here does by itself, I guess, but... Yeah, it's, like... All the just free plussing is very relevant for Dragon Turbo's game plan, and that's one of the best decks in the whole format. So I feel like we have to put it relatively high. Witch of the Black Rose, I'll put this the full way up in B, just because it is a summon draw 1. But you do have to play it in Monster Mash, which is just quite bad. Do I even put it up in B, actually? Monster Mash just sucks so much, man. Here, I can put it, like... We can put it top of C, how about that? Most of the cards in C are not great. So this is the most respect we can really put on. Like, draw 1 is just draw 1 for free is really nice, and it's one of the best cards in Monster Mash. So I guess we give it C. I guess we'll give it C. All right. Let's go round out the list. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, pretty much looking at every card in D, they're all just basically worthless. And then the cards in C are, like, vaguely useful in some jank things some of the time. And then in B, it's like you got some okay tuners, see some play, and some... I get Ammonite's kind of a... Well, I guess maybe the X-Savers, too. And even arguably Krebons and Quickdraw aren't they? Yeah. The only real good tuners are, like, these ones. These are the good ones. And maybe Whitestone as well. So, yeah, the top 9 tuners or top 10 tuners or something are like 90% of the good tunerness going on in Edison format. That's basically my conclusion. Very top-heavy card pool we've got. But, yeah, that's going to basically close out the video. It's going to round it out. That's all the tuners we have. If you would like to vehemently disagree and call me stupid, you may feel free to do that in the comments section. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Furthermore, if you enjoy my content, you should think about becoming a channel member. You get access to tons of bonus content, and it's a great way to help support the channel.